Chapter 14, Mishnah 3. This Mishnah is a continuation of the previous one. A korban that was premature, mentioned in the previous Mishnah as an example of a korban temporarily unfit to be offered inside, refers to whether the offering is premature in itself, i.e., it has not yet reached its 8th day, or whether it is premature in relation to its owner, who has not yet reached the time for offering it. What is an example of one that is premature in relation to its owner, and where he therefore is not liable for offering it outside? If a zava, a woman who has given birth, or a mitzorah, offered their chatas or asham offerings outside before their time for bringing these offerings has arrived, they are not liable, because these offerings would be premature and thus unfit inside. But if they offered their olah or shalamim offerings outside before the proper time, they are liable, because olah and shalamim offerings can be brought at any time as voluntary offerings. Therefore, they are considered fit to be brought inside, and one is liable for offering them outside. The Mishnah lists things for which one is not liable for offering them outside, because they are meant to be eaten, not offered up, and then lists various types of avodah for which one is not liable for doing them outside, because they are not completion avodos. If someone offers up outside things meant to be eaten, such as the meat of a chatas offering, or the meat of an asham offering, or the meat of other kodshei kodashim, or the meat of kodshei kelim, i.e. the meat of private shlamim, toda, bechor, maser, and pesach offerings, or the remainder of the omer offering brought on the second day of Pesach, or the 2 loaves brought on Shavuos, or the lechem hapanim eaten by the Kohanim every Shabbos, or the remainder of mincha offerings after the kometz has been separated, he is not liable, as the Mishnah will conclude below, because all of these are meant to be eaten, not to be offered up. And as for the avodos for which one is not liable outside, someone who pours the oil on a mincha offering, or who earlier mixes the oil with the flour, or who breaks the baked or fried mincha into pieces, or who salts the offering, or who waves it, or who brings near a mincha offering, or who sets the lechem apanim upon the shulchan, or who prepares the lamps of the menorah by cleaning out the previous night's ashes and refilling the cups with fresh oil and wicks, or who separates the kometz from a mincha offering, or who receives the blood of an animal offering in a utensil after its slaughter, if he does any of these outside, in all these cases he is not liable, either because the offering was meant to be eaten, not offered, the first group of cases, or in the second group of cases, because one is not liable for doing an avodah outside unless it is the completion avodah for that item. In all the cases of the second group, the avodah that he did outside was not the completion avodah for that item. The Mishnah teaches that this second group, the avodos that are not completions, have other common laws. One is not liable to death at the hands of heaven for doing this inside in an improper way, neither for doing it if he is a non-Kohen, nor for doing it while he is in a state of Tuma, nor for doing it while lacking all the garments of a Kohen, nor for doing it without washed hands and feet. Although one who is not a Kohen, or is Tameh, or lacking garments, or is unwashed, who does one of these non-completion avodos invalidates that avodah, he is not liable to death at the hands of heaven for doing so, because the death penalty in these cases apply only to completion avodos.